On the 1st of January 2025, my boyfriend Sam and I moved over to Australia from the UK. We landed in Sydney with 2 suitcases, 4 bags, and a whole lot of hopes and dreams. Just over 4 months later now, and our time here together is coming to an end. So I thought, what better time to reflect and answer some questions about our time here, and hopefully help you guys too if you're considering moving to Sydney anytime in the future. Hi lovelies, welcome back to another video. Today I am joined by
Samuel,
my very formal boyfriend. And as our time in Sydney together is coming to an end, we're going to chat through some reflective questions and give you guys some advice if you're thinking about coming here too. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Samuel, what have been your favourite things about living in Australia as a whole?
living with you.
That's sweet.
I know, I'm adorable, I know. The weather's pretty banging. Like, especially for me as well, from a work perspective too. It's just really good. And the wildlife and the nature, so yeah, just being able to drive like 40 minutes or whatever, and then you're in the middle of a national park and there's all sorts of different wildlife, like kangaroos on my morning drive to work and stuff. It's just really cool. Bit different to just seeing pigeons on the way to work. What are your favourite things about living in Australia?
I have 3 main things, but in no particular order. The beaches, the animals, so like you said.
Yeah.
And the cafes.
Oh, that's a
As
good
in,
one.
they do coffee, chai, matcha, even tea probably, brunch, cakes, pastries, everything better. The cafe culture here is the best.
Top notch.
Top notch.
Okay, what are your best or / favourite things about living in Sydney?
Okay, so I didn't really want to live in Sydney. I came here for Sam's job. I've obviously been here before as a tourist and I love it as a tourist city, but to live in, it's not my favourite place. Granted, Sydney is massive and we've not been to all of it, and obviously we've lived in one location, but links to the Australia thing, just in general, like Sydney itself actually has so many beaches and so many cafes, and as they're my favourite things about Australia, we love that. And my actual favourite place in Sydney, minus the beaches, is the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge, so like Circular Quay area. Just every time I go there I'm like, oh, I love Sydney.
Magical, isn't it?
Yeah, like that feeling has not gone away from me yet. So like living here and being able to see that is great.
Yeah, we've seen 2 shows in the Opera House, which is cool.
Yeah, that's true. And this time we've actually been to the Opera House twice. How about you?
Coffee. The coffee is 10/10.
Yeah, I feel like that would be an Australia thing, but
I think it probably would be an Australia
but they've got the great cafes here.
Yeah, they've got a great cafe. It's like at work they've got that cafe thing that's literally just like almost like a roadside cafe thing, pop-up cafe, and the coffee's mint. Linked together really, the coffee, the food.
So yeah, like I said.
The cafe, I suppose cafe culture. Yeah, it's just so good. Schnitties are so good, and they're a big thing here.
Yeah, I don't know why they're so big in Australia, but
they're really good. But just anywhere you get food from, I've not had a bad meal since we came. The buildings, me being like a construction-y fella, like the city is just it's just really cool. Like the high-rise buildings, and then obviously, like Beth said, the Opera House and the bridge area. That's really cool. Like driving over the bridge, that's so cool.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yes, next.
So naturally, following on from our favourite things, Samuel. What are your least favourite things about living in Australia?
Definitely being away from family, being so far away from family, and the big time difference.
Yeah, the time difference.
Time differences.
That's the hardest part. I think if you're on the same time zone, it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so bad, but because you're different
Yeah, it makes it harder to stay in touch with people for sure.
That's the only one I've got for being away. For Australia, being away from the family in the different time zones.
Me.
Yes.
I had the same
least
thing.
favourite?
I put so far away from the UK. Sad face. It would be great if you could just like flick between the two countries, but it's like what 10,500 miles away. So
It's a day, isn't it?
pretty far.
It's a day's travelling.
And you know what? If it was cheap, I would still do that. I don't mind the travel, but it's expensive. So you can't, see people that much, unfortunately. The only other thing I have is that certain things are definitely more expensive here. Of course, yes, there are some things that are more expensive in the UK, but the one I'm talking about now is healthcare. So I've had to go to the doctors recently, and I've been looking into some other stuff as well, like womanly stuff, shall we say. And just doing the research, like things that are free in the UK, you have to pay hundreds of dollars for here. So I just feel basically extremely, extremely grateful that we have the NHS back in the UK. Because here things just aren't as accessible to everyone.
Your worst favourite things about living in Sydney?
My worst favourite thing.
Your least favourite things about living in Sydney?
Okay, I can't speak for every single suburb or every single person, of course. But where we live and where I work, very cliquey. And honestly, not very friendly people for the most part, especially where we live. Like, we're from Manchester, we're northern, fairly friendly people. Coming here to Sydney, people don't smile at you, they don't look at you, they don't say hi, and it's just strange because that's not who we are as people. And also, I'm yet to find a gym that genuinely feels like friendly and inclusive as a woman. The women, I haven't had a good experience with them. And again, I've been to like 3 or 4 gyms. I can't speak for every single gym in Sydney. But it's the location that we've personally been living in just hasn't felt that welcoming at all. So yeah, I'd say that is my biggest one, really. And then for Sydney as a whole, it's just very overpopulated. It's very busy. Everywhere's crowded. It's just too busy for me personally. I feel like there's not enough space for all the people that live here. So yeah, wherever you go, it's just busy, 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 and it's just a bit overwhelming. And that's just not really how I like to live my life. I like to feel a bit more at peace, and I could do with a bit more, space. Oh, that just reminded me straight away. People walk into you.
Oh yeah.
Like,
it's crazy that, yeah.
Like, they will literally see you coming and just walk straight into you. Like, I've been barged into by like a 6-foot man before, or like in the shopping trolley, with a shopping trolley that they just come at you. There's no like, oh, sorry, or like, sometimes people are just like very unself-aware. But then a lot of the times it's like, no, they see you and they're coming for you anyway.
They just choose not to move.
I've never experienced that. It's like they're coming for you whether you move or not.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Anyway, what do you think? What's your least favourite things about Sydney?
Like you said, the grumpy people.
Yeah.
So that's that, and then for me, the drivers. From my experience with drivers here, like day to day, like a lot of the time, like they're just rude. Like there's no like, in the UK, like if you were kind of like nudging out, people would let you out. Here, like it's like every man for themselves.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it.
The best way to do it.
It's not people particularly being rude on purpose, I don't think. I think it's just what they're used to.
Yeah.
Like no one lets anyone out. Like
it's just
like you have to go.
Yeah.
And you have to hope for the best.
Just coming from the UK, like it's just a very.
Well, that's all it is. Yeah, it's a different culture.
Very different way, yeah. But yeah, it's just crazy.
You heard it here first. Crazy.
Crazy, baby.
Okay, let's bring the vibe up a bit. That was a bit negative. We don't like negative.
Let's get to happy.
Let's bring the vibe back up, and I'm going to ask you to give me. This is a really hard question, but.
Agreed.
Okay, rather than saying top 3, let's just say, like 3 of your favourite memories. From the past 4 months of us being here in Sydney.
I think the Blue Mountains.
Like the day out.
The day out we had to the Blue Mountains, like the scenery. And
the place itself is just incredible.
Yeah, the experience of that day was incredible. Like again, like it all comes back to like the nature and the wildlife.
Oh yeah.
Next one, But the Blue Mountains, amazing.
Yeah.
And Jervis Bay, that was a amazing experience.
Yeah, Jervis Bay is
Just
such a gorgeous place.
just the whole vibe that we had, staying in like the caravan park, and then like just
Go watch the vlog. I'll add links to the Jervis Bay and Blue Mountains vlogs in the description below. Back to you.
back to me. Jervis Bay, yeah. So that's where I found my fondness for pelicans.
Oh yeah, you did.
Bit of a rogue one, but I just think they're really cool.
Now you love pelicans.
Yeah, I do. Whenever I see a pelican, I'm like, oh, Pelly, there's a pelican. On wildlife again, doesn't it? And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
across the river, there was the kangaroos that popped out every night. And then we went and saw dolphins, saw penguins. We had a swim, and then when we got out of the water, we looked back and there was dolphins.
Spoil the vlog, man. Go watch the vlog.
But yeah, go watch the vlog. Jarvis Bay was just.
It was, and I
every
think
part of it.
when you leave Sydney to go to somewhere that like peaceful, it's like.
Yeah, and it puts into perspective how crazy it is here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And number 3?
So the Opera House. The first time we went to the Opera House, I have a mood board at home. It's on my mood board, like a vision board, to see the Opera House. So see that for the first time.
Yeah, so sweet.
I literally welled up, didn't I? As I was approaching it, like it's just like one of those.
I think you were
I
like,
can't believe I'm here moments.
It's amazing.
Yeah, blew my mind a little bit, just because it was always like a bit of a dream. A bit of a dream.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe I was there, yeah. So that was insane.
And now you live here.
And exactly, it's insane. It's unbelievable. Over to you.
Okay. So I put my first memory as when we moved into our apartment.
Oh, that was super special.
That was such a special day.
Yeah.
Obviously the first time we like moved in together.
Yeah.
And we obviously did our shop and like kind of unpacked things. Had our first meal at the table, spaghetti and eggs on toast and a cup of tea.
It had
That's
to be.
just us.
Had to be.
Like the weather was incredible, the beach over the road, like it was just amazing.
Like a dream again, wasn't it? Really?
Like what? Yeah, dream come true.
Yeah.
So that's always gonna be one of my favourite memories.
Me too. People are now reaching for a bucket.
One of my top memories too says, showing Sam the Opera House, Bridge and City for the first time.
Yeah, I was like a kid.
Yeah, seeing you, like seeing your eyes and your face light up, like seeing everything for the first time, obviously because I've already seen it before. I was just watching you watch the things and it was just such a nice feeling.
That was your new experience.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, showing someone else what I felt the first time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of my favourite memories.
Sweet, aren't you?
And my third one is not one specific. Stop reading them before I say it. The third one isn't a specific memory, but I've just put all our brunch and coffee dates. Because we just love a brunch and a coffee date, and I can't choose between them, they're just great.
What would you do differently if we could go back in time?
2 things and they link together. 1, live in a different part of Sydney. It's a given. I wouldn't live here again.
No, I agree.
It's a beautiful, beautiful area, but the vibe is just not it. The second thing I've got is just to make the most of living here more, basically, and like put ourselves out there more.
Yeah.
We both, I know you feel this too, we haven't really made many friends. You have through work, but not through any other means.
Yeah.
We haven't like gone to any clubs or like really put ourselves out there. And I think it's like, it's okay. You can't expect yourself to have everything figured out within a few months of moving to a country.
Not.
But if we could go back to the beginning, I would have done that a lot earlier. And then maybe things would have worked out differently. But I will say, obviously, that it's just theoretical and I wouldn't actually change anything because things happen the way they're supposed to. That's it.
Yeah. So house sitting for Paul.
So I've never told this story, but I think now is the perfect time. So when we first moved to Sydney, we had, I think it was like 2 weeks booked in a little apartment that you would have seen us live in Newtown. If not, go back to the first vlogs, guys.
Yeah.
Then after those first 2 weeks, we had booked a house sitter through Aussie House Sitters, which is just a website where you go and look after the dog and the house. Like, no one gets paid, like there's no money exchange, it's just You obviously get to stay there for free. You just look after their pets in return. So we had this one sorted. There was a little cute dog, a bird, and some fish. We thought easy.
Mm.
And it was in Darlinghurst, so too easy. And it was in Darlinghurst, so like super close to the Opera House, which is obviously Sam's favourite place now. And you know, it seemed great. We did go and visit it beforehand. It wasn't great conditions, but it wasn't.
We thought it was livable.
Terrible.
Yeah.
We thought 2 weeks. You know, I've been a backpacker before. Like we can hack it.
Yeah.
And we love the dog so much, so we thought we really want to look after him still. We
He was
thought,
so
okay,
sweet.
let's do this.
So we were kind of just like unpacking, weren't we? Just like unpacking a few things into the fridge, and then I just noticed, oh, there's a cockroach on the side, which,
In
as
Sydney,
you think, in
common.
Sydney it's quite common. So I thought, oh, it's one cockroach.
if you see one or two,
It's pretty standard.
it is normal.
Like we've seen them outside our apartment here
Yeah.
because they come in from outside. Like it's pretty standard. But then another one popped up, and then another one, and then another one. Yeah, and it was a bit like, oh, maybe there's something going on here. Like this is a bit concerning. So we gutted the kitchen. Like we cleaned the kitchen as best as we
We
could.
cleaned the whole kitchen.
No, picked a few up and then
Picked a few up.
no, as in like we saw we saw a few, killed them, got rid of them. We thought, clean the kitchen, okay, we can do this. Clean the fridge, we can do this, no problem. We felt a bit better. But then there was the photo frame. It was like something out of a kind of a
Horror movie.
Yeah, for want of a better phrase. One came out of the picture frame, and then we sprayed the picture frame, and then double digits amount of cockroaches came
It
out.
honestly is like when they put it on TV and there's like creepy crawlers like crawling over the screen, like they
Yeah.
all just ran out.
Yeah.
Like there were so many.
Yeah, it was horrible. But then I walked into the bedroom, I looked on the wall, there was a cockroach, I walked straight back out, I went, right, that's it, we're finding a hotel. We stayed with the dog for a bit, took him for a walk, and then we went to our hotel. That was that, we just couldn't hack it.
We didn't just leave the dog though.
No.
We made sure it got sorted. We didn't just like, see ya.
Oh, yeah, so like for the next few days.
For the next like 3 days, we went back and
Yeah.
looked after him. We walked him. We sat with
Yeah.
him for hours. We just
Yeah.
didn't want to sleep there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then by then they'd found another sitter who they'd used before or something. So
Yeah.
it all worked out for them. It was fine.
Yeah, the dog was okay.
But we
and
just did not
pets
want to
were
stay
looked
in
after.
a cockroach infested house.
The next one, I think you said it. Definitely find
Yeah.
a better location to live. I'd say more so for you, somewhere friendlier, I'd say, to live.
So to finish off our little Q&A, I'm going to call it, we're going to give some advice to people who might want to move over to Australia, and I guess more specifically Sydney, because that is where we've been for the past 4 months, just living and working in one place. So I will let Mr. Samuel go first. So give the people some advice.
So I'd say definitely have a decent amount of savings behind you when you come across, because
Yes, for Sydney, for sure.
from this experience, unless you're like a special skills person, I'm a science engineer, surveyor, whatever you want to call it. It was easy for me to get a job and get fairly settled and stuff, but obviously with the 1 year holiday visa restriction and then the 6 months restriction of only being able to work in one place for 6 months, it's been a lot harder for you, hasn't it, to find that job. It's been
Yeah, and a lot of
tough.
people that I've spoken to have had the same experience.
Yeah. And bring a few jumpers and long pants.
I wonder who told Sam to bring some warm clothes. And then I also wonder, why did he think I was lying when I said that Australia gets cold? It is now autumn, it's going into winter in a few days, weeks, I don't even know, I think it's in weeks. And the mornings and evenings are chilly.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nowhere near as bad as like autumn or winter in the UK.
Well, no, of course not.
Like you put a jumper on and you're
Some
okay.
jeans, like
Jumper
jeans
on,
and a
yeah.
jumper, you're good.
You're good. You're okay. Like,
For now, at least. We
Yeah.
haven't experienced the actual winter.
Yeah. But even from like a few of the Aussie lads that I've spoken to on site, they do say that like it'll be chilly in the morning, you might need a jumper or maybe two on in the morning in winter, but then as soon as the sun comes up, it's fairly warm again and you're back to
Yeah.
just like, maybe not a t-shirt, but like just a top.
I think it's kind of like spring at home.
Yeah.
Like the mornings are cold and you put your coat on, but then throughout the day you're like stripping layers off
you
because
get
it
a bit
gets warm.
Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of the same weather.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah,
Yes.
and like it gets like relatively warm, but not like warm.
Yeah. Get a job that gives you a car, if you're lucky.
That would be great, wouldn't it? If
That
we could
would.
all just get a job that gave us a car.
That would be great.
You're just very lucky.
I am very, very lucky.
I mean, I'm lucky in turn from that too. I'm very grateful.
Very grateful.
If you're in kind of construction, it's definitely potential in Australia. Anything else? Probably not. But you know.
Yeah. And last one. Wear sunscreen every day.
Every day.
Even like now, autumn, winter. Like I keep forgetting because it's not as warm. But then I'll come home and I'm pink, and Beth's like, "Oh, why you put sun cream on?"
I've told him a million times. That's why you should be wearing SPF every day.
You go.
My advice.
Your advice for all the peeps.
Relating to our personal experience of not liking where we live in terms of the vibe, I would suggest, if you can, like this might not be possible for everyone, of course, but if you can, like rather than just committing to an apartment like straight away, just book a few weeks of like a few days or whatever in different places. Just experience living in like a few different suburbs, see what you like the most, and then try and find your apartment there.
Yeah.
Or like find your work there if that's, you know, something that you can do. I had the same one about savings, so I'm not going to go into that, but yeah. And this kind of relates to my first one in a way. My advice is don't do what everyone else is doing and go live where everyone else is living. So most people go live in Bondi and Coogee. If that's what you truly want to do, then obviously absolutely go for it. But I think so many people kind of do like what the norm is. You know, you might find somewhere that you actually like a lot better than those main places.
Yeah.
And you know, there's so many clubs going on, and it's so easy here, I think, to feel like you should be doing everything because people are so active and people always seem to be out and about and doing all these different activities in clubs. But if you don't want to do those things, like don't feel like you have to just because everyone else is. Like you'll find your own hobbies and your own routine and your own environment that you actually want to be in. And my final one, in true me fashion, is just nice and inspirational and motivational. If you have the idea, the feeling, the want to come to Australia or to Sydney specifically, or anywhere in the world for that matter, but obviously this is about Australia, I truly do believe you should listen to it, hear what it's telling you, look into it, research, and if that calling is still calling you, then just go for it. Because like you can always go home, usually, if you're lucky like we are, like coming from the UK. People like us are very privileged and we do have the option. So if you have the means to, then just give it a shot.
Just go for it, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all we have for today. So thank you so much for watching. Please tune in next week for a brand new video. Oh, also, let me know if you like the new camera quality. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I hope it's good. I hope the audio is good. I hope the visual is good. I hope we look really nice. Let me know if you prefer it to what I was working on before, aka an iPhone. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. And please leave a like and a comment if you want to, and please subscribe because I really want to get to 100 subscribers.
You're so close.
So close, it's close. 7 away, guys, 7 away.